Something is brewing in Indianapolis, and it feels like the calm before a massive storm. We are looking at a franchise standing on a razor's edge between mediocrity and a complete explosion of talent, but the cost of doing business is about to skyrocket. We have roster moves happening quietly in the background that signal a shift in philosophy, but the real noise is coming from a potential blockbuster exit that no one saw coming, and a massive trade proposal that could change the entire landscape of the AFC South. Before we break down this chaos, I need you to step up. We are pushing hard for 1,000 subscribers, and if you bleed blue and white, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Let's build this army together.
Let's get straight to the facts, because the Indianapolis Colts are making moves that might fly under the radar for the casual fan. But for those of us who know the game, this is about laying the foundation. On Friday, February 20th, SpotTrack confirmed that the Colts have officially signed running back Kendall Milton to a reserve/future contract. This is not just a random signing. This is a calculated chess move for the 2026 season cycle. Milton, the former Georgia Bulldog, is coming into the building to compete, and he brings a pedigree of toughness that this team desperately needs. We are talking about a player who knows what it means to grind in the SEC, a power back who can lower his shoulder and get the dirty yards. The front office is securing his rights now to ensure he is part of the offseason program, giving him a full runway to learn the playbook and challenge for a spot on the 53-man roster when training camp eventually rolls around. But let me switch gears for a second, because I need you to understand what this actually means. When you look at this signing, do not just see a name on a piece of paper, see the message. The message is that nobody is safe. The message is that the running back room, outside of Jonathan Taylor, is wide open. We saw the inconsistencies last year. We saw the struggles to maintain a rhythm on the ground when the starters needed a breather. Bringing in Kendall Milton is Chris Ballard looking at the bottom of his roster and saying it is not good enough. It is simply not good enough. You bring in a hungry kid from Georgia, you put him in the weight room, and you tell the veterans on the bubble that their jobs are on the line. That is how you build a culture of competition. You do not win championships by being comfortable. You win by constantly churning the bottom of your roster and finding diamonds in the rough who are willing to run through a brick wall for this franchise. However, there is a darker side to this. Why are we focusing on future contracts for 2026 when we have massive holes to fill right now? Is this a sign that the front office is still trying to bargain hunt? Are they still trying to outsmart the league with low-risk, high-reward signings instead of going out and spending the big money? Kendall Milton is a fine player, and I like the depth, but depth does not win you the division when the Texans are loading up. Depth does not scare the elite teams in the AFC. This move tells me that the Colts are preparing for the long haul, but it also raises a massive question about their immediate aggression. And speaking of aggression, if you think signing a reserve running back is the headline, you are sadly mistaken, because while they are adding depth here, they are reportedly considering cutting one of their biggest stars to save money.
Listen, the NFL offseason is a brutal chess match, and you cannot afford to miss a single move. If you want the raw truth and exclusive insights on every single Colts transaction, you need to subscribe right now. Don't be left in the dark. This is the news that is going to shake the foundation of Indianapolis. Today, February 22nd, a bombshell report from Sports Illustrated has identified wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. as the #1 candidate to be cut by the Colts to alleviate salary cap pressure. You heard me correctly. We are talking about Michael Pittman Jr., the man who has been the safety blanket, the physical presence, and the most reliable target on this offense for years. The report suggests that parting ways with Pittman would liberate the maximum amount of cap space possible for the franchise this offseason, giving the front office a massive war chest to operate with. From a business standpoint, the numbers are clear. The savings are astronomical, and in a league where the salary cap is king, flexibility is power. This would allow the Colts to reset their financial books and potentially attack multiple positions of need. But let me take a step back and look at this with some common sense. Are you kidding me? You draft a young quarterback in Anthony Richardson, a kid who needs stability, a kid who needs a catch radius, a kid who needs a veteran he can trust, and your solution is to cut his #1 receiver? That sounds like absolute madness. I understand the business. I understand that Pittman is expensive, but tell me, who replaces him? Who steps up and takes those hits over the middle? Who fights for those contested catches on 3rd and long? If you cut Michael Pittman Jr., you are stripping this offense of its identity. You are telling your young quarterback that he has to do it all on his own. It is a gamble of the highest order. It is the kind of move that gets a general manager fired if it goes wrong. However, we have to be honest about the production. Is Michael Pittman Jr. a true elite game-changing #1 receiver? Is he in the same conversation as the top 5 guys in this league? The answer is no. He is very good, he is tough, but is he worth a contract that cripples your ability to build the rest of the team? That is the debate raging in the front office right now. They are looking at the production per dollar and wondering if they can replicate it for cheaper. It is cold, it is calculated, and it is ruthless. But if they pull the trigger on this, if they actually cut him, it leaves a gaping hole on the perimeter. But here's the kicker. You do not make a move like this just to save money. You make a move like this because you have a plan to spend that money on someone else, someone better. And that leads us to a rumor that is starting to catch fire in league circles about a replacement that would shock everyone.
If the idea of cutting Michael Pittman Jr. made you nervous, this next story should make you sit up and pay attention because the dots are starting to connect in a terrifyingly exciting way. A new trade proposal is circulating through the back channels of the NFL, suggesting that the Indianapolis Colts are positioning themselves to acquire an all-pro player with a market value of $41 million. This is not a drill. We are talking about an elite blue-chip talent that commands top-tier money. The strategy here is crystal clear. You create the cap space by making the hard decision on Pittman, and you immediately reinvest that capital into a superstar who can elevate the roster for the 2026 campaign and beyond. This is the kind of aggressive, all-in move that we have been begging for, the kind of move that signals the window is open now. Think about the implications of a $41 million player. That price tag is reserved for the absolute best of the best. We are talking about a pass rusher who can wreck a game single-handedly, or perhaps a dynamic playmaker who offers more explosive upside than what we currently have. This rumor suggests that the front office is done with being passive. They are done with trying to build solely through the draft. They are ready to trade assets and spend the cash to bring in a proven commodity. It is a complete reversal of the philosophy we have seen in Indianapolis for years. It is risky, yes. It mortgages some of the future, yes. But scared money does not make money, and conservative teams do not win Super Bowls in the modern NFL. This is the domino effect in action. The signing of Kendall Milton was the depth. The potential exit of Pittman is the sacrifice. And this $41 million All-Pro is the prize. It is a high-stakes gamble that could define the next 5 years of this franchise. If you bring in a player of this magnitude, you are telling the locker room that the expectation is a championship. You are putting the pressure on the coaching staff to deliver immediately. There are no more excuses. No more "we like our guys." This is about acquiring elite talent at any cost. But the question remains, is this mystery player the missing piece? Is he the one who takes us over the hump? Because if you trade for him and you pay him $41 million and it does not work, you have set the franchise back a decade. The front office is walking a tightrope, and the wind is blowing hard. We are witnessing a potential transformation of the Colts' DNA in real time.
We are standing at the precipice of a new era for our Colts. The depth is being challenged with Milton. The cap is being manipulated with the potential Pittman exit. And the ambition is skyrocketing with this $41 million trade rumor. It is chaos, but it might just be the chaos we need to wake up. I want to hear from you right now. Would you be willing to sacrifice Michael Pittman Jr. if it meant landing a true all-pro superstar? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. We are in this together, Colts Nation. Stay tuned.